was empty.
The last time that lady was in there. Oh. Yeah, she's never there.
All right, I've got 6:30, so I'll call to order this meeting of the Columbus Common Council, regular meeting for Tuesday, August 15th, 2017. For the second to the last time, I'll ask the clerk to take the roll. I'm including the second meeting.
Reed. Rule is excused. Draxler.
Here.
Hendrickson.
Here.
Kenny.
Here.
Malat.
Here.
Tome.
Here. Thank you. If able, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting has been noticed in accordance with state statutes and local ordinances. Next is to approve the agenda. If anyone had noticed, there's a typo on the agenda. Number 8 is redundant to number 5. So I'd be willing to take a motion to approve the agenda with the exclusion of number 8.
So read.
Were you pushing for a second resolution or proclamation every day?
Strike it, strike it, strike it.
Both. I missed who made the motion.
Motion to approve with striking 8, item 8 from the agenda.
Have a motion and a second to approve the agenda with the exclusion of number 8. Any discussion on that? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Agenda is approved. Correspondence and communications. Did we have anyone signed up back there? No one signed up this evening. Then on to the consent agenda. Tonight we have the council minutes from July 31st and August 8th, 2017. Treasurer's report for July. Also a street closing for the Senior Center Fall Festival, September 8th, 2017. Are there any wishes to separate anything here? If none, I'll take a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as presented. Any questions on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Consent agenda is approved. We have no unfinished business tonight. On to new business number 1, which is consider and take action on contract for the 2017 lift station equipment upgrade. This was discussed at the committee of the whole at the last meeting. And Jason did provide some information in our mailboxes for this evening with kind of an update on this. Any questions from council on this issue? Matt?
Yeah. Hey, Jason, I just had a couple questions for you. So far as I understand from the letter dated August 3rd from, where is it here? Pat, yes. It's not typical for us to request, since it's a maintenance project, it's kind of going along a different path than a typical project. So it's not typical to request a bond for this project. Then I guess there's no completion dates built into the contract. So I guess what's kind of the safety net for us if there's any issues with Sable? It just seems like they kind of can show up and work when they want to, and no real backing, I guess, for any sort of bonding at all.
Right. So, I typically when we do road projects, we always see the bonds. But with equipment, when we're replacing like equipment in kind, obviously there's really not a lot of work there. It's just ordering and the cost of the equipment. The installation's pretty nominal. And so, it's been practice, at least according to Pat, that, we obviously proceed without a bond. A bond could be requested, and again, obviously that adds cost to the contract. So there's obviously, I guess in my mind, there's a trade-off for the security is the cost here. When we requested a bond cost, it was $4,671 for the amount of this contract that we could request them that they provide. So that I think that's just an option for the council to consider. I think it was the recommendation of Pat. Obviously, Pat's been doing this for a lot of years. That typically this would be a pretty straightforward project in his opinion and wouldn't necessarily require the bond. but again, that's up to you. As far as the timeline is concerned, these were the dates that were provided. I guess going back to your consideration about, is there any deadlines on this? The way Pat explained it to me, obviously, is the cost for ordering the equipment is paid up front by the contractor before we pay them. Their incentive for finishing it is getting reimbursed for, money that they've spent. And so, I'm not saying there couldn't be a problem, but I think the intent here would be that the contractor would obviously want to complete the work. Again, it's not difficult work. With what we're doing as far as maintenance is concerned, there's no emergency here. So it's not like the contractor has to have this work done as soon as possible. So, the lift stations will continue to function and the equipment will operate, hopefully, certainly no guarantee, but until such time that it gets replaced. So again, that's kind of how this was, I guess, put together, the contract documents, with the intent that, it was pretty straightforward practice and that the contractor would do it, on a reasonable schedule. So that's the information that you requested last time I was here. I went back to Pat, and then again, this memo I provided had kind of responded to those questions I think that the council had. Hopefully that gave some clarity to that.
I guess, question I have, it seems like from talking with Kim that Sable did perform work for the city earlier this year, correct? So both R&M and the city has been involved with them before.
Yes,
They seem
correct.
like they've been around for a
Yes.
while. I guess when they did the work earlier this year, was it repair, maintenance work as well, or was it?
Yes.
Did they ask for any sort of like stockpile upfront payments from us,
No.
or it just, so they purchased obviously all the material ahead of
Correct.
time and then held on to it the whole
Yes.
time? Okay. That's the only concern I'd have is if they bought the stuff and asked us for stockpile money and then we paid it and then for whatever reason.
Right.
Because I guess at the end of the day, there's really no pulling back of any money spent upfront if something happens with them.
Yeah, no, and I think that's pretty standard. Their bid indicates that, they have some lead time on the order anyways, so by nature, they can't do the work in 2 weeks from now, just they have to wait for the equipment, so they don't even have it in their possession. So again, the lead time obviously pushes us out, the pumps into the end of October, and then the control panel. Controls are always tough. I know when James Street started, they ordered the control panel for the lift station on that job, and I understand we don't even have it yet.
Yeah.
So, just lead times and those things can be 12 weeks plus, in a lot of cases. So again, when they order, they have to pay a portion or all of it up front. So
Okay.
Jason, while you're up, just for clarification, I guess, for future projects, how do you define maintenance-based project? I'm guessing it's by the components, but is there any financial threshold or policy that we have that would help dictate?
you're dragging me back into the capital maintenance discussion. No, in all seriousness, I think maintenance is considered replacing something in kind or something similar to what's there without changing or upgrading. In this particular case, if there's a 3 or 5 horsepower pump, they're just pulling it out, and just inserting the new pump in place, and it fits back in. There's no real work. Maybe there's some replacement of some new rails or connectors or something, but minimal. So I think maintenance is just thought of something that's functioning, has life cycle, has reached its life cycle, useful life, if you will, and it's just being replaced. It's not a new project where we're completely doing, it's not like we're replacing the entire lift station. In this case, it's just some equipment and a panel.
And this was laid out in a long-term maintenance plan for the lift stations?
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
Thank you. The one thing I don't have here is the amount of the contract we're awarding. I don't have the actual contract from the last meeting.
So the letter says, we recommend to be awarded to Sable, which would be base bid, and then alternate A and alternate 2 and alternate 3. So alternate 1 was the transit road, the lift station for transit, and there was the issue with the road and the accessibility and the costs, and so we threw that one out. But the amount is $124,559 for the 2 alternates in the base bid.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions from council on this? I'll entertain any motions then.
motion to take action on the contract for the 2017 lift station equipment upgrade.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the contract for the 2017 lift station upgrade, equipment upgrade awarded to Sable Contractors in the amount of $124,559. Any discussion on the motion? We'll take a roll call on that then.
Draxler.
Aye.
Hendrickson.
Aye.
Kenny.
Aye.
Malat.
Aye.
Reed.
Aye.
Unanimous.
Thank you. On to number 2 then, which is consider and take action on a replacement floor scrubber for the pavilion. Davis Clark was in here at the last meeting and we discussed the prices he got for the equipment. Carolyn Fredericks is here from DPW as well, if there's any questions on this item.
If anybody has any questions.
I see none. With that, I'll entertain any motion. I believe the recommendation was for Salamone Supplies for $6,077.96 for the 26-inch floor scrubber.
Correct. I'll make a motion to replace the floor scrubber with a Salamone floor scrubber.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to replace the floor scrubber at the pavilion in the amount of $6,077.96 to Salamone Supplies. Any discussion on that? We'll take a roll call on that then.
Hendrickson.
Aye.
Kenny.
Aye.
Malat.
Aye.
Reed.
Aye.
Draxler.
Aye.
Unanimous.
Thank you. Thank you, Caroline. On to number 3 then, which is consider and take action on the job description for city clerk position. This has gone through the committee of the whole for discussion a few times, and my understanding is the copy we have in front of us hasn't really changed since that discussion started.
That's correct.
Okay. Any discussion or questions on this one? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve this.
I'll make a motion to approve the job description for the city clerk position.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the job description for the city clerk position. Any discussion on the motion? Can we take a voice vote on that, Ann?
Yes,
Okay.
you can.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Number 4 then is confirm mayoral appointment of Deb Hafner to the library board. Deb reached out to me probably about a month ago with interest in serving on the library board to replace Kate Stover. That term is expiring May 10th, 2018. Any questions on that one? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the appointment.
So moved.
Second, I guess.
We've got a motion and a second to approve the mayoral appointment of Deb Hafner to the library board. Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. On to number 5. Proclamation, Ann Donahue Day, September 1st, 2017. Patrick was nice enough to write up the proclamation, which I think is very appropriate. Unless there's any volunteers, I think it would be nice to read it into the record. Trina, did you want to do that?
I'd love to do.
That would be great.
Thank you. Proclamation designating September 1st, 2017 as Ann Donahue Day in Columbus. Whereas after 40 years of service, Ann Donahue has completed a long and successful career of service to the city of Columbus, and whereas hired as a dispatcher on July 1st, 1976, Ann worked her first 10 years for a city in part-time capacity, but then began her full-time career on August 1st, 1987 as deputy clerk/treasurer and assumed the position of Columbus City Clerk on April 1st, 1988. And whereas throughout her career at Columbus City Hall, Ann Donahue Donahue continually showed herself as a hardworking, resourceful, and dedicated employee of the City of Columbus. Her leadership and spirit has helped guide the city through many ebbs and flows over the years. And whereas the City of Columbus closes a chapter on a vital piece of history in a community that prides itself on history, Anne Donahue earns a well-deserved next chapter to enjoy the fruits of her labors and time to reflect on the positive impacts she has had on countless elected officials, co-workers, and citizens of Columbus who had the benefit of her guidance over the past 40 years. And therefore, be it resolved
That I, Mayor Michael Tome, do hereby thank Ann Donahue for her service to our community and wish her well in retirement by declaring that September 1, 2017 to be Ann Donahue Day in Columbus, Wisconsin. Thank you, Trina. Unless anyone's going to change their mind, I'll entertain a motion to.
Now's your chance.
I'll make a motion to make it Ann Donahue Day.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the proclamation naming Ann Donahue Day, September 1, 2017. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Congratulations, Ann. All right. Number 6 then, consider and take action on applications for operator licenses for Shailene Martin, Courtney Molnar, Cassandra Treptow, Rachel Kaler, Ryan Lind, Alonso Arnada, Jose Roca, and Jill Peeler. Were there any additional, Ann, besides this? Okay. Unless there's any questions, I'll take a motion to take action on the operator licenses.
Motion to approve the operator licenses?
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the operator licenses as read. Any questions on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Licenses are approved. Thank you. Next is city claims. Consider and take action on claims in the amount of $266,212.81. Any questions on the claims? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to approve the claims.
Make a motion to approve the claims.
Second?
Motion and a second to approve the claims, city claims in the amount of $266,212.81. Any questions? Let's take a roll call on that then.
Kenny.
Aye.
Malat. Reed. Traxler.
Aye.
Hendrickson.
Aye.
Unanimous.
Thank you.
I'll get it.
Number 8 has been struck, so then we'll move on to report of city officers. Turn it over to City Administrator Vanderson.
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight I have a few updates. The item that's front and center for city staff right now is the preparations for the 2018 city budget. At this point, we are having meetings with department heads on their departmental draft budgets. So that process has been going. We have a few to cover yet, and after that, then we should be able to move to scheduling the workshops with the council. Connected to that is that the contract with the city and the police union is up at the end of this year. So the negotiations with the police union, the WPPA, have started. So we had our first meeting this week and just started to talk about concepts. And as we get further into the budget, I'll be making you aware of the progress of those discussions. Last week, I had some officials from Columbia County Economic Development and Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation in on Thursday. They did a tour of communities around Columbia County just to talk about development, what's been going on in each community. I've found the information from Wisconsin Economic Development to be helpful. They talked about grants and new programs that they were working on. And of course, it was nice to be able to tell them about the developments and projects that we've had here in Columbus. So that was a particular source of pride for me. And lastly, the advertisement for the city clerk position's been out for, I believe, about a week and a half now, and we're at 14 applications. The first review we've advertised is Friday, August 25th, so there's a little bit of time yet, but 14 is a pretty good start to that, I'd say. Thank you, Mayor.
Thanks, Patrick. I had a few things. One is a reminder that the school year starts on September 1st, which is before our next meeting, so urging some additional caution and patience the first week of school for pedestrian crosswalks, traffic. Also recognizing that we still have active construction on the 1660 corridor. That's going to be pushing a lot of traffic probably into the school areas. So please try to plan a few extra minutes on your commuting hours and show some patience there, especially the first couple weeks while the kids get back into the school year. Also nearing the end of the season at the Columbus Area Aquatic Center. If you're planning on attending there the next couple weeks, maybe check out the CAAC Facebook page or look at the city website for a change in hours. I believe right now they've been changed daytime from noon till 5 and then evening 6 till 8. I think they're closing earlier on the weekdays just for kids that happen to ride bikes to the pool. Since it's getting dark out earlier now, they want to make sure those kids get home. They will still be retaining the 8:30 closing on the weekends. And then this weekend on Sunday, there is a back-to-school event at the pool from 6 to 8:30 with games, prizes, some free back-to-school supplies for kids, and a couple of chances to win a new backpack. And lastly, I just wanted to kind of thank the staff at the pool for their dedication and hard work that has resulted in another successful season at the Aquatic Center this year. So appreciate the hard work. That's all I had. Did anyone else have anything to add up here? All right. Then I think it would probably be very appropriate that we adjourn tonight's meeting in honor of City Clerk Ann Donahue for her 40 years with the city. I think it would be appropriate to do that. Entertain a motion to adjourn in honor of Ann Donahue.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll return in a few minutes with the committee of the whole meeting. Thank you. Yep.